In a peaceful village in Vietnam, nestled among emerald rice paddies and winding rivers, lived two brothers. When their parents passed on, they left behind a small fortune, but the heart of the older brother was filled with greed. He claimed the spacious house and all the fertile land, leaving his younger brother with nothing but a tiny, run-down cottage and a single starfruit tree in its yard. The younger brother, kind and gentle by nature, did not complain. He tended to the starfruit tree with great care, and it rewarded him with an abundance of sweet, star-shaped fruits. He and his wife lived a simple but content life, selling the fruits at the local market to make ends meet. One morning, as the sun cast its first golden rays, a shadow fell over the cottage. A colossal bird, larger than any he had ever seen, with feathers that shimmered like polished jade, descended upon the starfruit tree. It began to devour the ripe fruits, one after another. The younger brother's heart sank. This tree was his only livelihood. Gathering his courage, he stepped out and spoke to the magnificent creature. His voice was soft, filled not with anger but with sorrow. "Oh, great bird," he pleaded, "my family and I depend on these fruits to survive. If you eat them all, we will have nothing left." The giant bird stopped eating and turned its intelligent eyes towards him. To the man's astonishment, it spoke in a deep, resonant voice. "I have eaten your starfruits, and for that I shall repay you. Go and sew a bag, 3 hands wide. Tomorrow I will return for you." Puzzled but hopeful, the younger brother and his wife did as they were told. They sewed a modest bag, exactly 3 hands wide. The next day, just as promised, the giant bird returned. "Climb onto my back," it commanded, "and bring your bag." The younger brother mounted the bird, clutching his small bag tightly. They soared into the sky, flying higher and higher, over mountains and across vast sparkling oceans. The wind rushed past him, a thrilling song of adventure. After a long journey, they arrived at a remote island that glittered under the sun. The entire island was a treasure trove of gold. Pebbles of gold lined the shores, and golden nuggets lay scattered among the rocks like common stones. The younger brother was breathless with wonder. The bird said, "You may take as much gold as your bag can hold." Remembering his humble life and simple needs, the younger brother filled his 3-hand-wide bag. It was just enough to provide for his family without being excessive. He thanked the bird profusely, and they began their journey home. Back in the village, the younger brother's life transformed. He built a comfortable new home, shared his newfound wealth with the poor, and helped his neighbors. Yet, despite his riches, he remained the same humble and kind-hearted man he had always been. News of his good fortune soon reached the older brother. Consumed by jealousy and greed, he immediately proposed a trade. His entire fortune of the house and land in exchange for the cottage and the starfruit tree. The younger brother, wanting peace, readily agreed. The older brother and his wife moved into the small cottage, waiting impatiently for the giant bird to appear. Sure enough, the bird returned to feast on the Feigning distress, the older brother cried out, just as his younger brother had. The bird once again offered the same deal. But the older brother's greed knew no bounds. Instead of a bag 3 hands wide, he commanded his wife to sew an enormous sack, practically a giant tarp. He also stuffed his pockets and clothes with smaller pouches, determined to carry back every last piece of gold from the island. The next day, the bird carried him to the island of gold. The older brother went into a frenzy, stuffing his massive sack and all his pockets to the brim. He greedily packed so much gold that he could barely lift the load. The bird struggled to take flight under the immense weight. As they flew over the deep, churning sea, the weight became too much to bear. The bag was far too heavy, and the bird began to falter. A strong gust of wind caught them, and the older brother, weighed down by his insatiable greed, lost his grip. He and his impossibly heavy sack of gold plunged into the dark waters below and were never seen again. The younger brother, hearing of the tragedy, was deeply saddened. He continued to live a life of generosity and kindness, forever remembering the lesson of the starfruit tree, that true wealth is not found in gold, but in a contented heart, and that greed, in the end, will always lead to its own downfall. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this tale, please give us a like and subscribe for more beautiful stories from around the world. We'll see you next time.